All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. Say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. This with and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahbashim Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau and this wicked ass society, man. Let's jump into it. This is touching base on the planetary alignment. We had just had it, I think it started on a couple days ago, but it's going periodically throughout this year or throughout this month on the ending of January going into February, which that's signs right there to show you that these are more signs that this is the end of this place. This is the end of the society. This is the end of the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, okay? Because some don't, if you read the prophecies, Rome, that deadly wound was coming back. And it makes sense that this be the time because this was the same place that had a hand in crucifying the Messiah. So he's coming back to judge that very place, all right? And we know these have to be the Edomites that the Bible speaks of. But then you got guys that want to try to negate that, go against that, but that's on them. But the main point is when I seen this and I looked up some information, so the planetary alignment, let's pull up this right here. It says planetary, it says according to astronomical calculations, a complete planetary alignment where all 8 planets are in our solar system are visible aligned in the same part of the sky is considered to be happening roughly once in every 3.6 billion years, which, you know, that's going into something else, making it an extremely rare event. This figures comes from the considering the planets being within a very narrow degree of each other in the sky. It says one of the rarest alignment is one involving 8 planets of the solar system, and that only happening once every, they said, those many years. The last time a complete alignment occurred was December 2022, when the planets covered a 180-degree arch in the sky. However, a rare, Slovakia. It says for astronomy lovers and for general public, this January 21st will be one of the only planetary alignments that is attracting the most attention. This alignment, okay, so it took place, but it's still going throughout the latter part of this month. It says this is the alignment that is rarely recorded, and that is 6 planets: Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, which has generated a stir among astronomy lovers and the general public. But how rare is this type of event, and how does a planetary alignment form? Here we explain it to you. But we know that these are signs from Yahbashim Yahushai that this place, all right, Yahbashim Yahushai is getting ready to judge this place for the things and the wickedness that is done. All right, prophecies is being ushered in, and it's not a coincidence that when Trump takes office, there's a planetary alignment in the same month. Okay, so those are more signs that we're right on track for the judgment. And it says, when we talk about planetary alignments, we are referring to when 2 or more planets align in the sky. That is, they appear to be in the same direction from our perspective here on Earth. It is important to note that they will never be perfectly aligned. There is always a small separation between them, which one averages does not exceed 26 degrees in the sky. To give you an idea, the distance is what 20 to 52 moons would occupy together in the sky. An alignment is not the same as a planetary conjunction, which is when the planets appear to be very close together but are actually further apart. Alignments, on the other hand, are when planets appear to be in a minimum distance from each other in the sky, explained astrologist and science communicator Monica according to the National Geographic El Español. Says to understand how this alignment occurs, it must be remembered that all the planets in the solar system orbit the sun, but each at a different speed. Planets closer to the sun, such as Mercury and Venus, move faster than planets further away, such as Neptune and Uranus. Okay. The rare and planetary alignment. It says the rarity of planetary alignment depends on how many planets are involved and how close are they each to each other. Uh, Alignments of four or fewer planets are relatively frequent and can occur several times a year. But when five planets align, it is called a great alignment, and they are much less common. Okay, and let's see right here. So planetary alignment. Let's go ahead and go to the news. It says how to see. Let's say. It says, man, look at all the stars. That's how you know, man, the Most High is far out. We have an endless amount of things getting ready to be blessed on the nation of Israel, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Is that if you are on the internet, you're likely seeing an Instagram or TikTok claiming on the January 25th, the 8 planets in our solar system will perfectly align in the night sky. And if you're on my side of the internet, you've also probably received an astrological reading, doubling, which we don't go into that. Okay. Doubting the phenomenon is mass energy shift that will help you realign your soul's purpose. All right, we going into something else. No thanks. It says, let's go down. All month with after dark, you'll find Venus and Saturn in the southwest for the first couple of hours, while Jupiter shines bright high overhead and Mars rises to the east. Uranus and Neptune are there too, typically, but they don't appear as bright planets, meaning you need a telescope or binoculars to see them. NASA's public arrangements specialist Preston Deutsch Adichie explains the agency's journey skywatching tips. So the main point is this alignment, but where I seen funny is that it's not a coincidence. Things don't happen by chance of that being on the month of the inauguration. All right, Trump being put in there, all these things taking place, the wars, the rumors of wars, Matthew the 24th chapter, all these things are happening simultaneously. And now it's being set. We had the eclipse that came through here, planetary alignments. We had the blood moon. Okay, these are the signs and the stars in the heavens that was promised and prophesied that would come, and we're witnessing them now. So I just looked up. Let's see, I got signs here. So let's go into the Apocrypha. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 6. Let's start at 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou. And how do you measure? What's the measuring stick? How do you measure the times? It's by the prophecies. That's how you know. That's how we know that we're coming to the end, because the prophecies were speaking. At the end it shall speak and not lie. Habakkuk tells us, though it tarry, wait for it. It shall surely come, it shall not tarry. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, even so, verse 6, now we're jumping down to verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings. Okay, going back to the Genesis, the beginnings. All right, the headings where you see Yahbashim Yahshai establishes the earth, establishes the heavens, and he's still establishing. That's why it says he spreadeth out the heavens as a curtain. I did a video concerning that the heavens and the universe is still growing. So the Lord is still, even when Yahweh Shai say, I go and prepare a place for you. So he's still working and still creating up there. And then now the earth is getting ready to be taken over and be put back into righteousness' hands. It says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. So these are some of the signs that we're given to show that we are in the times of the end. We're in prophetic times. We're in times of great happenings, great showings. We have these chariots that are showing left and right. I just uploaded a video concerning a fleet of chariots being seen. So they're here. They're not the fact of we got to convince people. That's why the Lord said the foolishness of preaching. All right, the Most High is confounding this world and showing that we were right through His Spirit and power. It wasn't our own minds coming up and making up something that the UFOs are gonna do. No, they clearly are showing themselves, and they clearly have their eyes set on Babylon, which we know is America today. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 32. And it says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall the Son of Man be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Okay, verse 44. For the Most High then showed signs. That's it on that. Let's jump down to this is Sirach 36 and verse 6. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. And we're witnessing now. All the things that are happening, the Lord raising up the children of Israel out of nothing, putting us back into our understanding of who we are, setting Esau up for the okie doke. All these things are Yahbashim Yahshua's plan, man. So we're witnessing the prophecies come to pass. We're witnessing the changing of a guard. We're witnessing the refreshing of the people of Israel. Our whole nation is going to be good, man. The Lord's going to take care of us. And we don't know the fullness of it, but we just have to endure and pray and watch. Verse 7, it says, rise up. It says, rise up indignation and pour out wrath. And that's what you see. These Edomites have raped, robbed, murdered, have done a lot, too much, man. Where we can't do enough, we can't do nothing to this man that really counts. He's untouchable when it comes to the him being in the power seat. He has to be taken out by the one that gave him the power seat. Going back to Isaac, okay? And it says, rise up. It says, rise up indignation and pour out wrath, take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. And that's showing you that this ain't for everybody. Who's the Lord's enemy? Who's the Lord's adversary? Okay, you have clear intentions of whoever runs this world doesn't like the prospect of or having the idea of a God, a true God, and that God being in power. Okay, if he really did respect and honor Yahbashim Yahushua and honor the Most High, he wouldn't have demonic symbols or witch covens that have rights and laws and the law of the Bible being broken at every turn in the society. It's a no-brainer that it's broken. They break all the laws continually. Okay? It says, and pour out wrath and take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. It says, sake the time short. It says, sake the time short. Remember the covenant and let them declare thy wonderful works. And what's the covenant? Going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That covenant hasn't changed. That's why these you got replacement theology trying to put other people in that. It's no, the Lord is coming. He fell in love with Israel and he loves Israel. Now his son has brought Israel back to him through that sacrifice. Where there's no blood, there's no remission of sin. So if the sins have been forgiven, then why would the Lord cast us away anymore? There's no need for it. We're just in a time of reconciliation. We're in that in between that downtime when it comes to the new covenant and the old one. We're not in the new covenant yet because the laws have not been inserted into our hearts. That way we don't break the law and we don't have to worry about having to have another Messiah come down and do the things that Yahushua did because we're never going to go off. Okay? It says, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire. That's what these thermonuclear fires, the angelical fires, the sulfur, the brimstone that was cast on Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be cast again on the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. And it says, by the rage of the fire, and let him perish that oppress the people. And who was that? Esau. Smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is no other but we. Gather all the tribes of Jacob. So you see enemies, you see adversaries, you see these people, and then you see Jacob, Israel, speaking about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, gather all the tribes of Jacob together, and inherit thou them as from the beginning, They're showing you that the tribe of Jacob were known as the Adamites. This is a precept for that. The Adamites were what you call it wasn't just Adam and Eve, because Cain went and got wise. Okay, and there was people on the earth. So there's people in the time of the garden, because the earth itself is the garden, Eden. That's why it says what? Eastward in Eden. Let me see here. Here we go. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Let's see here. See? Okay. This is Genesis 28 and verse 8, or 2 and verse 8, Salakia. And it says, amplified, and the Lord God is in the Lord power planted a garden oasis in the east in Eden, the light land of happiness. He put the man whom he had formed, created there. That's what you call the Adamites, Adam, which was the progenitor of the Adamites. Okay, that bloodline. And it says in King James, and it says, and the Lord power planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And formed means just like the law gave us organization. When you form light into a laser, you concentrate that light into a fine-tuned point. Okay, you concentrate the energy. So the Lord concentrated our energy and our mindset into the law. That's what the law does. It sets up. That's what made us holy people. Okay, that's what separated us from the other nations, was the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why the Lord said, don't go into these ways. Don't give your sons unto them, your daughters. They'll pollute you. Okay, they'll pollute you from the ways. And that's what happened in the garden. We sowed fig leaves. We hid ourselves among the trees. That's hid ourselves among the people. Okay, that's why the Lord said we are separate people. We're his portion. Okay, and then let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's get some of these precepts. Signs in the sky. This is the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. It's ESV. And there will be signs in the sun and in the moon and the stars and on the earth, distress of nations and perplexity. And that's what you see. You see skirmishes on the Korean Peninsula, the European Peninsula. Now we have this skirmish on Babylon with the cartels. They've been labeled terrorists, and they sent about 2,000 troops down to Mexico border, and Trump wants to send about 10,000 more. Now, if they start killing these cartels, and the cartels respond back and start killing American troops, that's going to be a skirmish, man. That's going to be a skirmish, and that's gonna corral the American people against the so-called Latin tribes, and that's going to pull into, and it's going to start there, but then it's going to infest its way into the rest of society, because they're going, in that wartime, when you have what you call martial law, that draconian rulership, they're not going to everybody's going to be lumped in there as a combatant. Okay. And that's why they got AI technology, because AI is going to be able to replace a lot of these foot soldiers and a lot of these people they don't need. And you don't know what kind of high-tech robots they got out there. That's what the elites want, because when society breaks down, They don't want a large force of so-called security just to take them over, take their money, take their bunkers, and then so-called pretty much establish themselves. That's a fear they have, and I never thought about it because we don't have that type of fear. We make check to check, we scrape by, but the Lord gives us goodies and He gives us blessings and He maintains us. But they're worried about the people that they hire. What are they gonna do when there's nobody to pretty much um, stop them from doing, to take over them, just like they took over the earth. So they have that heat, that healthy fear. Okay, so they're in a point of being suspicious, paranoid. That's what comes with that lifestyle. Doesn't come with a good feeling. Stealing all these people's money, praising Satan, witchcraft. You don't sleep good at night. You don't. That's why it says they toss and turn on their bed till they commit wickedness. Okay, it's a drug to them. This is Luke 21 and verse 11. It says, there will be great earthquakes in various places, famines, pestilence, and there will be terror and great signs from heaven. And this alignment is one of them. All right, we have alignments that do come up, but this alignment is not a coincidence that it happened on the month of the new president coming in, and then now it's going to start off with more prophecy. And then you got Trump that's so-called threatening Russia too. So they ain't playing, man. We in a time where they at the last. If they waited to do something to see what Trump would say or what he would try to do if he would try to de-escalate. And if he doesn't, then they got no options, because their Russia's oil refinery just hit by, I think, like 100 plus drones at one time. It's in flames. So they gotta quell this Ukraine situation quickly, man. And they're running out of options on how to make that happen. So they're threatening, or Trump is threatening sanctions and more not tariffs, but just straight sanctions on Russia, tariffs on other nations, tariffs on Canada. So they're making their enemies to turn against them. What does it say in the book of Obadiah? It says, they that eat thy bread has laid a wound under thee. So these are those nations that have eaten the goodies off of Babylon. That's the surplus, the money pit, the gold rush when it came to this place writing checks to different nations by way of what? They have the control of the petrodollar. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah 10 and verse 2. It says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the nations, nor be dismayed at the signs of heaven, because the nations are dismayed at them. And how are they mainly dismayed? Because they worship them. They bow down to him. Saturn, all these names. Those are Greek game names. Those are names that go back in the past that were given. That's not their names. The Lord, he says he already had a name for them. They're already numbered. And he knows about name. Imagine all the stars in heaven. The Lord knows every single one, man. That's beautiful. All right. Psalms 19 and verse 1, it says to the choir master, Psalm of David, the heavens declare the glory of Yahweh, and the sky above proclaim his handiwork. So these stars come in. It's a big clock, man. Yahweh has made a huge clock, and we get to witness it on earth. Okay, so it's showing you that is the time that we in. It's a sign. It's a wonder in heaven. It's the majesty of Yahweh Shemi Shai. And then now we get to see it by way of these telescopes, by way of these technologies that we do have, man. Okay, that's able for us to see these things happening and taking place. So the time is just get yourself tightened up. Look at the world we in. Stay in the spirit, stay prayed up, be a beautiful brother. Be a strong person, a part of this work. That way, Yahweh Shemi Shah can find us worthy to deliver us in the times that we in. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. This is just a quick update. I just wanted to bring out that news story and show brothers, and you definitely look into it, bring out information, and definitely pray and watch. So with that, I say, call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Machakodash. Until next time, I say Shalom, and more now to never keep faith. Shalom.